Okay, so like I said, this review is going to be very different from the usuals because I want to do something a little bit longer and more engrossing and more in detail. And I'm mostly inspired by Undercover Filmer because he does these really long and involving reviews, and I'd like to pay homage to that, but I'd also like to do something a little bit more deep than my usual stuff. So this is going to be quite a different type of review. Very different, in fact. This game really does suck. You're not going to see it at first, but it's going to slowly build to the point where you'll start to grasp why I was tearing my hair out halfway through this game the first time. I'm playing through it again from the start, and I'm playing with the keyboard only to basically further illustrate how much this game could piss someone off. I mean, you gotta play with the end key, the delete key, the home key. No computer game to date that I can recall that was any good uses these keys as main functions. Everything else would use like the E key or the F key. I mean, the movement keys are W, A, S, and D, like in most games nowadays that follow the whole, I think Counter-Strike was the first game to really use those kind of controls. But yeah, you're basically using those controls to simulate, regular directions. You're not strafing, you're moving left and right when you hit the A and D keys, which is retarded because you expect it to be strife and not, well, if you play many PC games, and anybody who bought this game knows PC games, because, it's a PC game, obviously. Anyway, it's very easy to get lost in this game because of how they did the graphics. They match the cartoon's look and style, but they're so simplistic that becoming disorientated is only a matter of basic seconds in this game. I'm already lost. I must have played this like 16 times on the console, and I'm still lost with no idea what to do. I simply can't remember the basics of what to do, and then it'll suddenly come back to me after I'm done wandering around for like 3-4 minutes or so. It doesn't take that long this time around the bend because I know I'm recording footage for a review, so I'm trying to move my ass as quickly as possible. I'm also not going to talk during cutscenes and stuff, or I'm not going to try to unless I get really pissed off, because I want you guys to experience the cutscenes and what this game has to offer in terms of good, and then we could stack on, my usual fuck this, fuck that of bad, and this sucks. But anyway, finally figuring out where to go and what to do. And it'll become high unforgivable later on because you'll be wandering around for so long with no idea what the fuck to do, and you'll have to hit keys, the delete key and the enter key and the space bar to do different things, and it just gets ridiculous. Bam! Gotta love the canisters that say C4 on them, huh? So here's one of those examples. I was just facing the direction you had to go. He decided to turn around and look at the fucking wall. And the truth is, all you had to do was go right past the cans. Can you see the opening there from where I was standing in the beginning? I certainly couldn't. So we go through more of this in-game stuff. The credits are still scrolling, which means this is still introduction tutorial junk. I mean, even though they throw you into a tutorial that takes like fucking 10 minutes to get past on a normal basis. So wait a minute. Boom! Look at that bitch blow. And again, you don't control anything. I can basically just move the camera left to right by hitting the direction. I guess it wanted to show off the fancy particle engine. Oh, at the time it was fancy. Nowadays, it's special. Oh, and another thing to say, these videos, see the quality you're watching now? These are the quality I saw them on my laptop's monitor, okay? LCD rather. They are shitty quality videos. Pixelated up the ass. So be happy you're watching these and not the big screen versions. Okay, it's worth noting that the game did crash on me right there. It's also worth noting I'm cutting out loading screens and stuff. You have no reason to watch them. Delete key. Who the fuck plays a computer game with the delete key?
Mary had a little boy whose neck was in the noose. For every payment Mary misses, Joker lights up. If you live through this, you get one more chance. 5 million or Tony takes up now.
See, the production, and I love how she just vanishes without a trace, too. That's just brilliant right there. The production values are top-notch in terms of video, in terms of voice, and in terms of the music you hear throughout the game. But in terms of presentation, it's kind of lax. There's not much detail in anything. I mean, look at the Batmobile. It's like one flat thing I just dropped there. A couple of light sourcing and some very flat, very flat. That's what this game is, flat.
Sure. Is she in some kind of trouble?
It's the Joker, and maybe more. Something about this.
I love this line coming up. I'm gonna work on the obstacle course.
Run Alfred's training.
I don't want to do voice acting for a video game. That's what it sounded like to me. So now you get to explore the whole span of the 10 feet that is the Batcave. I swear to God, it's no more than 10 foot long. Like, look at this. That's the whole outside of the Batcave. The one computer terminal, and that's it. And the rest is just a rail and, well, the cave, obviously. And my hands are already starting to cramp. Here's another good one. They didn't. I guess they didn't want to make his model for the game, so they just figured they would, you know, come up with this recorded training session nonsense. Now you get to see where this game made me tear my hair out.
If you'll be so kind as to activate the grapple.
When the grapple icon next to your health bar links, it means you are able to grapple. Activate grapple, enter first person mode by pressing and holding space key. Freeze the game and change weapons. In first person, to change weapons, press number keys related to the different weapons or use A and D to cycle through our tour gadgets while holding the space key. To exit first person mode, press the space bar. The space key. Did you get all that? I certainly didn't. You gotta hit space bar to enter this mode. You've gotta hold space bar to move it around. Or you could use your mouse. They don't really tell you that. I had to figure that out on my own. It's still way too sensitive.
Good, sir. Once the grapple is aimed, it is
You cannot move and aim at the same time.
When the court, I'd strongly suggest.
Okay? This is ridiculous. I'm on a computer. I want normal first-person shooter controls, not this crap. And look how sensitive it is. It's like, and I lowered it, no less, and it's still sensitive as fuck. So yeah, I'm gonna start skipping what he says because I don't want to hear this crap over and over again.
Well done. A little
Man, Alfred, shut the fuck up! God almighty. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. My name is Alfred, I didn't shut the fuck up.
Very good, sir.
Very good, sir. You may want to use your brain and deactivate this game before it destroys you.
Good show, Master Bruce. We'll move right along now to
I mean,
the use
just...
of the Batarang.
They're giving you tutorials on crap you can figure out on your own. He says with a little practice you can learn to strafe around enemies while throwing this stuff. You can't strafe and move at the same time in this fucking game. It's ridiculous. You have to aim at everything manually and just kind of sit there. And this is fine when you're fighting against the metal fucking post, but when you're fighting against real game enemies, this doesn't work. And I wasn't even aiming for the damn thing and I hit it.
Perhaps now we should brush up on.
And now you get to beat the crap out of a metal pole.
So often the only common language.
There is no reason to have to sit through any of this tutorial bullshit because the AI in the game gives you no challenge whatsoever.
Some of your opponents are
In fact, I'd have to say the metal pole gave me more of a challenge than most of the enemies in the game. If the game isn't going into glitch mode